Hello dear listeners, I just want to record a very short video here for you. For those that follow me with Efraim and just follow me generally about what I share. I was traveling to Toronto and it was so interesting. Last time we were obviously there together with Efraim and it was a long time ago, 2019 in December, right before COVID. We went together to Toronto and we worked there, and we had quite a big turnout with different people, and it was really beautiful. So it brought back my memories as I was traveling. And right in the beginning, when I was sitting in the airplane to fly to Toronto, I never noticed before that pilot would announce their names. But some pilots, I guess, do. This particular pilot had to announce like 5-6 times his name, and of course he said, my name is Pilot Jeff. And it was so interesting because our son, in the beginning when he was trying to locate where Papa was, he said, Papa is in the airplane. And one of my kids pointed out to me when I shared with them that my pilot is Jeff and I'm in a good place. So they said, and Benjamin said that Papa is in the airplane. On the way back, I was trying to listen to the pilot's name. He never mentioned his name. He just announced whatever he needed to announce, and that's it. And then another interesting sign was I had to rent a car. I pre-registered the car, and I got a confirmation still from booking the ticket. And when I came, it wasn't like a known car rental. And it kept on taking so much time, and like something sketchy was about that car rental. So I just like in the middle, I had deep, like clear intuition that I need to cancel it. And I went to the known ones, Enterprise, whatever it was, the other known car rentals. And as I came in, he said within 10 minutes, I kind of like shared that I spent like over 2 hours waiting for this car. And he's like, oh, within 10 minutes, we'll get your car going. And they take me out to the parking lot, and of course they have to give me the car, the same make, the same color, the same year as Efraim's car that we just sold. And I'm holding this key and I'm looking at the car. I just now like had a whole emotional kind of letting go with his car a couple of weeks ago with his parents. When the parents were visiting, we sold the car, but I had this car for 6 days and I was able to drive it. And of course, a lot of memories came back, and interesting, I didn't know the year of the car. I just see the make and I see the color. And the guy said, oh, don't worry about this car. It's 2020. That's exactly the year that Efraim's car was. So it was a sign to me that he's around, he's looking after, he's here, and he's supporting, he's still aware on a lot of levels. And it was just so warm. Of course, I had few cry breakouts, in the car, and I was just like connecting and crying and missing, etc., etc. But it's all normal. It's all 100% normal to go through those motions as if like you're all done and it's all in the past, but then something triggers, it comes back and you're processing it again. And just this morning, one of my daughters had a dream. And I was so like, right away I felt like this was such a good dream. She said that Efraim came to her in a dream. She's 20. And he said, I'm still part of the family. He said, like, with a big smile. And then he said, but I live somewhere else now. And she said, he took me there, and he went there separately from me. Like, I had to go there by myself, and we met at his place. And she's like, his place is full of books, and he's like deep in studies. And she looked at him and she said, wow, you look healed and you looked so well, and you even gained weight. And he was so like amazed and happy to hear, really, I gained weight? And it like was so comforting for her to see him well and healthy and even gained weight. and he was like really, he was so super chatty. He wanted to have back and forth and ask questions and shared stuff. And at the end, he's like, I have to go back and study. And she said the dream was done. But when she was telling me, I think there's so much good stuff packed in that dream, that he's in a good place. He's fully done with the pain and suffering. And he's studying. Obviously, he's engrossed in something interesting to him. And I definitely feel his presence, his connection, his involvement with Binyamin, with me, with other kids. He's just unbelievable soul, and unbelievable person, and it was huge merit for me to be his wife for the 6 years. It was definitely challenging. It was definitely really, what's the word? Intense. Yeah, it was really intense. Certain things were like really too much to handle as they were coming, as we were handling them. But looking back and seeing me there, maturing, developing, growing, becoming new me, it was a huge opportunity and huge, amazing merit to spend 6 years with him. It's almost 3 months. It will be in this, March 9th, 3 months. And it feels like it's been forever. All right, dear all, love you all. And thanks to all that reach out and ask me questions and there for us and help us in a lot of ways. I truly appreciate your presence. I truly appreciate your consciousness, your ability to kind of hold the space for me. And nothing hurts me like some of you apologize and ask me, did it hurt your feeling? I hope it didn't hurt your feeling. I hope it doesn't trigger anything. It doesn't trigger me. Anything you bring my way, especially your insights, your developments about Efraim. And somebody asked me, what was his last words to you? And it was so interesting. His last interaction with me was, we already knew, doctor said a couple of hours left, maximum few hours. And I went to get him a ginger ale because that's what he would drink last few days. And I said to him, it's freezing cold. He usually never wanted to drink anything cold. And he just looks at me like, who cares at this point? And then the interaction happened like I said to him, I'm going to get the ginger ale, yeah? And I got the ginger ale, and then when I put it down, I said, I'm just gonna sit here. And he looks at me like as if I'm gonna escape, or like, he just gave me that like smirky look. And he's like, are you like sure about that? Like something like that. He was totally awake when it happened. And I said, yeah, Efraim, I'm just gonna sit here. That's after not sleeping for like a couple of nights. And that was our last interaction. He asked for ginger ale. I was concerned that it's too cold, and he's like, let it go, just let me drink the ginger ale. And I put it down, and I asked him, I told him I'm just gonna sit down, and he's like, looked with a smile. And that was it. And I think some of you, when you ask those questions, you want to make something for yourself, obviously. I never thought about what was our last interaction because it was so packed with a lot of other details. But whatever you are asking and whatever you are questioning, whatever you're sharing, all of this is just such an addition to my process. My process, it takes whatever it takes. I have ups and downs. I'm grateful for all the ups and downs. I accept the downs as well as the ups. And I think it's all in a beautiful process and experience for me. One day I'm going to write a whole book about this whole process and experience. Somebody told me that a lady lost her husband in her, like recently, and she was so offended that people didn't know how to handle her process. Like some of them said, I'll call you later, and they never did. And some of them said they met her and they kind of ignored what she went through because they didn't want to trigger. And she wrote a whole book about it, right? Shalom. So I don't know if I look at it this way. I was very awkward with people that lost their loved ones in reaching out and comforting and being there for people. I kind of blocked out. Whenever I would read somebody's like lost a close one, and there is a Shiva call, and there is a Shiva number you could call and like kind of present your part in this whole loss, I would block out and I would never reach out, pretty much never. I never went to Shiva house. I never, like, it was completely blocked by me. So I totally understand, until you live through like an intense way like I did, the process of loss, you can't really relate. It's like as if you don't have instruments of what to say, how to say. You feel like no matter what you say, it will be awkward. If you offer yourself to be there for them, if you just comfort them, if you just sit in silence, whatever it is, I felt like it's not it. And like I felt like I'm not, and usually when I don't feel I have it, I don't pretend I have it, right? So I never went and I never spoke and I never offered my help, and I was never there for people. And I think once I touch that territory in this realm, I am equipped now a little bit to reach out and be there for someone. And it doesn't hurt me if somebody says, I'll call you, and they never do, or let's go for a cup of coffee, and they never do, or they want to, they say they'll send something and they never did, and blah, 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 whatever it is. I think we're all going through motions, and whoever is talking to you, they are going through process too. Like they also lost Efraim as a friend, as a colleague, as a relative, etc. They also going through something, and their process is very different than yours, or could be very different than yours. And my own process I'm studying, it's not, I can't say, oh, I would appreciate this instead of that. I don't even know what I would appreciate in this process, you know? So definitely I wouldn't write a book about that, how to address mourners and how to be there for them. But I would definitely write a book about the whole transformation, the whole preparation for Efraim to go into another world. The whole beginning of it, I felt he's still around. The whole denial prior to that, the whole, so to speak, preparation that people say you have to be prepared, you have to be strong. There is no way to be prepared. You can never prepare yourself. You are given strength at that time to deal with that specific case. So about that, I would definitely, and our communication on a soul level after the body was completely kind of let go by him. And I felt like he's still holding on to his pain. He's still holding on to this realm of persona. I felt all those stages. And once he let go of all that, it was like meeting him completely on a new level. That I would definitely write a book about, and I would definitely share and make it, I'm sure, useful for others, those that already lost and those that will, and it's part of this world, part of our reality. So that's that, and to be continued. I'll share more my processes, my experience, my recovery in a way, my letting go in a way, my ability to move on in a way, etc., etc. Love you all. Thanks again for everything, and we'll be in touch.